Welcome back to the Prosperity Playbook podcast. Today I am here with my special guest, my friend Jamie Kujawa, and her business is Wild Heart Healing. And we're going to talk today about prosperity in mind, body, and spirit and how that kind of all relates together. So I want to start with your business name. So Wild Heart Healing, that's such a cool name. Tell me how you came to that.
Thank you. And thank you for hosting and having me.
Absolutely.
It's really fun to be here. So Wild Heart Healing, the name sprung out of a meditation, really.
Oh.
At the end of massage school, I was like, wow, I still don't have a name for my business. So I meditated on it, and I knew I needed the word healing in my business because I was not just invested in massage therapy, but overall whole health and body wisdom and healing and how to bring the body into equilibrium. So it was more than just feeling good in your skin and bones.
And the wild heart. I mean,
I
think you're a little bit of a free spirit.
Yes. My heart is wild and
I love
free
it.
and all that. Hence, I live in Montana.
Awesome. All right. Well, tell me a little bit more about your background. Obviously, you mentioned massage school, so that's a big part of what you do today.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did you arrive on this journey? I'm just going to assume it's a journey that came along the way. So give me a little bit of your backstory.
Yeah. So I went to college in Vermont and majored in English. So writing is really why I think I was put on this earth. And I still do a fair bit of writing.
Okay.
But massage therapy sprung out of, I studied yoga for decades. And I just realized, and after swimming collegiately and not physical therapy, personal training, I just realized that I had this knack for alignment and body and biomechanics, and I really had this intrinsic interest in how the body aligns itself. Not just physically. The yoga taught me much more than that, but the body part really became very evident to me, which is it's weird that I studied science and in anatomy and writing all at once, so very, very opposite, but
very cool. Was there something in particular that got you into yoga in the beginning, or you just kind of knew?
That's a great question. I remember my first yoga class and I was like, what is this? And then I showed up again and I was like, okay, it's a little less weird.
So you just tried it?
I did just try it. But my real investment in yoga came from low back, chronic pain. And I went to physical therapy and worked with a physical therapist. And, they wanted me to do the doorway stretches 3 times a day and stuff like that. And I said, okay, that's great. And then I just started going to yoga. And within 3 months, my back pain cleared. But yet there was this way deeper layer going on inside of me that kept bringing me back to the yoga mat and the yoga studio time and again. And I got really into yoga.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you? When you say you got really into yoga, does that mean you had a daily practice?
I did. I was going to the studio a couple times a week, and I don't know if I had a daily practice at that point, but I was definitely pretty addicted.
Okay.
It was that feel good endorphins.
I love that. Did you do regular yoga or hot yoga or both?
Not hot yoga.
Not hot
I've done
yoga?
it once in my life.
Really?
Yes,
Okay. Interesting.
I'm not a hot person, or I run hot, so I'm like a cold weather person. Yeah.
Okay. I've done hot yoga a couple times, and there's something that's very satisfying about it to me. Like,
yes.
You've done things when you've walked out of there and you're just like so drenched in sweat that you look like you just jumped in a swimming pool. It's gross and also very satisfying.
Yes. And I just heard something that's really kind of parallels that. A sauna, a good sweat is really helpful for clearing out like even microplastics in our body.
Oh, interesting.
And all kinds of different toxins, because there are a few in us.
I think there's a lot. I have a feeling we're going to talk about that a lot more.
We might touch on that.
But I agree with that on the sauna side of things. Like there is a way, something that like just really starts your day off and like it's kind of cleansing and purifying. And I guess if that's one way to get rid of your microplastics, I'm all for it.
Yeah, right. Sweat is a good thing.
Yeah.
Our bodies know that innately.
Yeah, I think so too. But I've also heard with hot yoga that you have to be really careful because sometimes it stretches you beyond what you're actually supposed to do and you can hurt yourself.
We can talk a lot about that too, because there are people who are overstretched and need to work on that strength component. And there's a lot of people who are inflexible, need to work less on the strength and more on the flexibility. So there is a balance.
Wow. Okay. I feel like there's going to be a lot here. So
there might be.
Well, let's kind of stick with the yoga thing for a minute since we're there, and then we can talk about the massage side of things. And then you also mentioned you're a naturopath, so I want to dig into that. So, but what else with yoga? If there's somebody that's like, I'm kind of curious about it, but I don't know if I should try it. How do you get started? Like for me, I think the first time I went, I was like, oh, I'm not super bendy. Like I'm going to be so embarrassed. Everybody in there is going to be so much better than me. And that wasn't, I mean, there were definitely those people, but there was also people like me that looked like a baby giraffe. So
I love that. I love baby giraffes.
So a big baby giraffe.
Yes, worth noting, I've been teaching yoga for about 18 years now.
Wow.
So not only did I get addicted into it, but then I took a teacher training and really just pursued the path. But I often asked all the time, or told, I'm not flexible. Why would I do yoga?
Mm-hmm.
And I often say, well, that is yoga.
That's why.
And it's not just physical flexibility. Yoga has taught me so much more about how to be flexible and adaptable to life and to flow with the rhythm of life and reality, because, the more that we swim upstream, the harder this existence becomes. So
totally.
Yeah, so I think my style of yoga, not that I'm saying one is better than the other, but where my background comes from is a really alignment-based style of yoga. And so I think that's really intuitive for bodies to understand that it's not just simply about flexibility. It's not just about touching our toes. In fact, I would really highly discourage that, because you're going to overstretch hamstrings and low back, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But rather putting together these pieces of alignment and biomechanics to help you just lengthen those muscles a little bit more.
Okay.
And it's a building block, right? So it's not like you're going to touch your toes the first time you come to your yoga mat, but yet over time, I see it in students all the time that want to be able to touch their toes. It does happen, and it happens safely when we really align and tune in.
Well, and I keep learning more and more, and just hearing people talk about how movement is really what all our bodies need. And like, if you're trying to age gracefully, it's not necessarily like the hardcore workouts that you need, but it is that muscle lengthening and that flexibility, not even so much just flexibility, but just how you're able to get up off the floor and just move your body.
Yes, ma'am. I had a friend tell me a long time ago, she said, my grandma says, always put your socks on standing up. And so there's one thing. And another practice that someone else said, and many people have said it, is to get off the floor without using your hands. And so that's a really good practice.
I love that.
Just tuning into those things, and you'll notice right away what needs to strengthen or activate more when, but balance is key. Balance is a big, especially as we could talk age gracefully all day long, but especially as we age, I think balance is a huge component.
I think you're right. I see that, especially with my mom. My mom had a brain tumor and had surgery a couple of years ago. And that was one of the things that she kind of struggled with for a while. It was like right in that balance center of her brain. And she's doing great now, but she definitely has had to really work on the balance side of things. And actually she has one of those like vibration plate things that she sits on, and she stands on now.
Right.
And she's like, my balance has gotten so much better. It just like when she first got it, she had to hold on to something, and now she's, I don't know, she's like, she just absolutely swears by it. Have you ever heard of these?
I have not, but I've heard of, there's so much out there.
I know, there's so many things.
If it works, it works. I love that.
Right. Even if you just think it works, then it's working for you.
Placebo effect.
Placebo effect is real.
Absolutely. But I always love this like topic of balance, because I'll think about the metaphorical sense. So like yoga is a big reflection of the outer mirroring the inner, right? So if we are in a place where we need to work on balance physically, we need to also turn inward and say, where can I build a little bit more balance within myself?
I think that's a great segue into talking about that, because we've done episodes on this before where we were talking about like work-life balance and family and yourself. And honestly, it's a journey that I'm really struggling with right now. I just got off a call with my coach, and she's like, you need to do more things for yourself. You need to do more things that fill your cup up. And here I'm looking at my schedule going, I need less things in my day, not more things in my day. And she's like, I know this seems counterintuitive, but I promise you need that stuff. So what does balance look like for you?
Oh my gosh. If I had a Cliff Notes version, I would broadcast it to the universe. I think it's a lifelong endeavor, and I think it's ever evolving, right?
Yeah,
so we're never going to maybe not truly be in balance. I think it's a day-to-day, a moment-to-moment awareness, truly.
It's not like, okay, I check the box, I'm balanced now, and it just stays there.
If only. I know. Same. I say to my yoga students all the time, there's never going to be enough time in the day, right? So how do we carve out the 18, 20 hours, however long we're awake each day to fill our own cup?
Yeah.
Of course, this universe, this world is a busy place right now in 2026. And I think it's really, really powerful medicine to just become aware of what your needs are each day and to just try to meet them somehow. It doesn't mean you have to do an overhaul of your entire day. It just means like a lot of times when I feel tired, that's when I get some of my best work done because I'm intentional. I have to slow down.
Interesting. I like
it's
that.
really, instead of chugging coffee or caffeine or anything like that, I just embrace it. I lean into it and say, okay, so how can I do less with everything that I need to accomplish throughout the day?
I love that. And I think I've heard you say before that sometimes you just have to notice where you're at that day and gear your day towards that a little bit.
Correct.
And understand that you can't like always just say, well, I don't feel like going to work today, so I'm not. But
yes.
I mean, not everybody has that luxury, but I think
Correct.
it's about tuning into your body and noticing where you're at and then trying to like pick the things that are going to serve you best that day.
Absolutely. And just approach your day with that level of awareness and that level of energy or whatever it is that you have. You know, if you've got a headache, you know, you just say, okay, how can I build quiet into my day? Amidst everything that's still going on, like I can still go to work, but how can I just contain the distractions? How can I contain some of the outside noise to make myself just a little bit more quiet inside?
Quiet inside. That is an interesting thing because that's the other thing I'm really struggling with right now is just getting rid of the distractions. And I feel like in my day, I'm always like distracted by an email that came in or a client texted me or my phone rang and it's a new application. And then I don't find myself able to stick to my calendar as much because I'm like living through these distractions and I keep trying to eliminate but I think you just hit exactly what my problem is. I need to quiet the inside.
Remember, it's not a problem.
Okay. Okay. Not a problem. No problems. There's no problems.
Everyone's loud inside, right? The mind, the monkey mind, as it's been referred to.
Oh, yes.
Constantly chattering. And meditation has been, I would say, probably the biggest piece of my puzzle. You know, I dealt with a lot of anxiety growing up and things of that nature. And meditation has almost completely cured anxiety, if not just, it's my glue. And I do it daily, still practice meditation daily. And now I've gotten to the point where I can bring it into my active lifestyle as well. So I can be checking that email, the one that ticks me off and I get really annoyed by, or the text message that comes through that, you know, makes my innards clench.
Yeah.
And I can...
I had one of those today.
Yeah, see, you get it. I can try to respond instead of react by just... taking a deep breath or just tuning it out or just letting it go for the time being.
Respond instead of react. That's a bar. I like that.
It's tough business, but with enough practice. And that's what meditation teaches us, right? So there's a lot of misconstruity around meditation that we have to silence our mind. Well, if you silence your mind, you're going to die, right? Like your brain keeps you alive. So please don't turn off your mind is what I have to tell people. Okay. It's not about that. It's about cultivating a relationship with your thoughts. It's about listening to your internal dialogue and understanding, am I in the present right now? Like, are my thoughts all in the future? Are they all in the past? Am I dwelling on something or am I overanalyzing? Like, what are my patterns and my habits and how can I just be a little bit more clear with them? How can I just be a little bit more in relationship with those thoughts?
You just read my mind. That's exactly where I was going to go with that because I think meditation does have that stigma of like, I'm just supposed to sit here and think about nothing.
Correct.
And that's not what it is.
No.
And like you said, you need your brain to keep functioning so you can live.
Yep. Please keep thinking.
Okay. Yeah. So it's about noticing, right? You're noticing where your brain generally goes. And then are you trying to steer it or are you just exploring?
Nope. You're just understanding it.
Okay.
And then it becomes a game. It's like if you can sit back, relax, and have fun with it, your mind is quite an entertaining movie script.
So tell me more about that. I'm not sure I understand that. Like sit back and watch it and be entertained. I've definitely laughed at myself. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, that's me. That's how I approach meditation is I like to just say, oh, okay, so I see this thought. I see that I'm worried about this podcast that I'm doing, right? For instance, maybe that was a few hours ago. So I see that thought, I notice it, and I just let it go. Instead of attaching to it, like old Jamie would have been super attached to that and the butterflies in the stomach would have come and I would have been super over perfectionism.
I'm a recovering one of those. Yep.
Yes, this right here. And instead I just say, oh, I see that I have these natural nerves regarding this and that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. I love that. So you're not trying to tell yourself that you can't have those nerves. You're just like, okay, nerves is natural and there they are and that's how I feel and just keep moving along the path.
That's right.
Okay, I love that.
I had a practice a long time ago where I would just thank everything. When anxiety, because anxiety was my thing, when anxiety came up, I would just say, thank you, anxiety. I see you. I'm safe. I don't need you to be here right now, but I appreciate that you're doing the thing that you know how, which is protecting me.
Interesting.
So coming into a different relationship maybe with it, we have a tendency to stuff the icky things.
I like that perspective. I've never actually heard that perspective around anxiety. It's something I used to struggle with a lot. Getting rid of caffeine helped me substantially.
Getting rid of caffeine is huge. Agreed.
But the other thing, I did have a counselor one time that told me, I was like, I got to get rid of this anxiety. And he was like, what if we don't get rid of it? What if we just take it and we see it and it's there and we shrink it down and we just put it in the corner of what we see and it's still there and it's cute. And like, you just keep moving on and the rest of your day, you can still see it. It's not blocking the rest of it. And to be honest, that helped me more than anything, maybe any one thing I've ever learned in my life, because it felt doable.
Yeah.
Because eliminating anxiety felt like such a crazy thing that how am I ever going to do that? But just like, we're just going to shrink it down and now it's cute and it doesn't control my day. That I felt was doable. And it has been.
I love that.
Cool.
And the human experience, I mean, we're a pretty embodied, creature.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is to have all those experiences, because without anxiety, how do you understand the calm and the peace, right? So there's back to balance.
Well, you're very right about that. And I think that that's something that we forget about, that if everything is perfect all the time, we lose context around the good stuff. There's a famous story, and I don't know where it came from, but it was this guy who like dies and goes to heaven, and his heaven is sitting at the blackjack table.
Oh my gosh.
And every deal is a blackjack. And he's like, oh my God, this is great. Heaven's amazing. And it's just like one after another, just blackjack. And he finally gets mad and he's like, what? Like, get something else. And he starts yelling at the dealer and he's like, this is not what I thought heaven was going to be like. And the dealer goes, what makes you think you're in heaven?
Oh, interesting.
And he kind of flipped that back because there wasn't that contrast. Mm-hmm. And that maybe everything being perfect all the time might actually be your version of hell because you don't have anything to counteract it. So I don't know. That story has stuck with me for a long time because I genuinely think that we need that. It's just like if you have winter and you don't like winter, it makes you appreciate the springtime even more when it actually comes.
Right now is exceptional. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing out right now.
Never go away, June.
I know, seriously. June in Bozeman, Montana is about as elite as you can have. So, well, is there anything else on anxiety that you think is important to touch on before we kind of leave that topic?
Boy, it's a loaded subject.
I know it is. And that's why I'm like, I don't want to just brush over this, but it also could be like a 4-episode series.
I think learning to love your anxiety, right? It's been a huge piece of my journey, and so I stuffed it for a long time, and that did not serve me. Mm-hmm. And so I think when I started to embrace that I have this natural protective thing that comes up when I can be nervous about something, but just learning how to understand it, learning how to coexist with it, as opposed to hating it. It's a part of us. It's a part of us. I think everyone has some degree of anxiety. Well,
I think you're right.
Alone.
Yeah, I've heard it equated to like kind of like your fight or flight when you were when we were cavemen or whatever, and you've got this tiger. Like something in your body is telling you like bad things are about to happen, and that's why you get scared or nervous or whatever. And our bodies don't necessarily understand the difference between the tiger and the podcast.
Correct. This is not this is not life or death.
I'm not going to die.
No, there's not a mountain lion behind me. Yes, we're good. And I think that segues really well into, how do we coexist with these different places in ourselves, and how do we cultivate that relationship with ourselves? And it's a practice, and that's why meditation really has bridged, the 10 minutes or whatever I spend per day just actually sitting in quietude has really bridged into my actual life so that I can function with anxiety. But it's not anxiety anymore. Right. It's different.
Interesting.
It's evolved.
So 10 minutes a day is typically your practice?
When I first came to meditation, I was instructed to start with 3 minutes.
Okay.
Because it is
Bite
daunting.
Size. Yeah.
Yes. And I hear 90% of folks say, I can't sit still. And that's okay. It's okay, but try it.
So do you have to sit still, or could you do it on a walk?
You can do a walking meditation. You can do an eating meditation, folks. That's a really beautiful one.
Okay.
I used to do it like, the toothbrush has the 2-minute timer. I would just look at myself in the mirror, make eye contact with myself in the mirror. That's another fun practice for those 2 minutes, and just be with self.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think that that's something a lot of us are missing right now, especially in this day and age of smartphones. Correct. I mean, we're all looking for that dopamine hit, that like next thing, that entertainment. Like you catch yourself, you're just like sitting at a stoplight and you're like, what? I'm not doing something right now. It feels weird. And there are those times that you just need to sit and think and process and figure out what the next step is or what's bugging you, or mine likes to do it about 3:00 in the morning, which is not preferable.
Oh, fun. That's that's an ugly time.
It's terrible.
Yeah, totally.
So, yes. But I've also found, kind of like you said, that instead of just trying to tell my brain it can't think at all, I just try to steer it into something that would be more peaceful or more positive, or not the worst possible thing I can think of, or the loan that's falling apart, or the employee that I'm panicked about, or whatever. Just what are the things I'm grateful for?
Yes.
And it, sometimes it's kind of a prayer, sometimes it's just thoughts, but it does, if I can steer it towards gratitude, I can usually get back to sleep at some point.
I was just reading or listening to something today about gratitude practice, writing down 5 things every single day that you're grateful for. And gratitude is the highest vibrational frequency in our bodies that we can have. So if we're in a state of gratitude, you cannot be in a state of scarcity.
Oh, interesting. I love that.
So there's that balance.
Okay.
So I think it's just helpful to just build these quiet moments into our day, into our lives, and 5-10 minutes a day. It'll have impact throughout the day.
I love that. And probably starting the day with this?
It's up to you. I start and close the day. I find meditation before bed is really potent because
makes sense.
Yeah.
Get your mindset in the right spot to sleep.
Yes, exactly. Then I can go to sleep and stay asleep. So.
Well, this is a good reminder for me. I build myself these notebooks every month or whatever, and I have pages that are built in there for gratitudes and affirmations every day. And I have been such a slacker at doing it lately because it just feels like not the most important thing in the day, but I think it might be.
I know that's what I was just hearing. It might just be.
So let's talk about breath a little bit more, because that's another thing. When I am having trouble sleeping, I can sometimes get myself to focus on my breath.
Yes.
And that, my brain is not shut off. It's focusing on breathing, but it's something to focus on. And it's harder to stay in that because it's kind of a boring topic. But I know you and I were just mentioning, I know you said you were reading a book about breathing. I read that same book, and it's like super nerdy, and I love that. It's a great book. But talk to me about breath. I know that's a big part of yoga practice.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's a part of massage and probably everything else you do.
So in yoga, breath practice is called pranayama. Prana being the life force energy that moves through us, chi in the Chinese traditions. Breath I just lied and said meditation has been a huge component to my well-being and my anxiety journey, but breath has really been the bridge. And breath is considered the bridge between mind and body. And so if there's so much now science and study out there about the potency of breathing, and there's a really cool, I don't know if it's a proverb or a yoga sutra or something that, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but, and don't believe it totally, just take it with a grain of salt, that we come into this life with X amount of breaths assigned to us. And so the thought process there is that if we're taking deep, soothing, calming breaths, we're going to live longer. If we're taking shallow, short breaths, we're going to use those breaths up quicker. But what that translates to for me is that those, and I think we can all relate to, when we take those deep, consistent, conscious breaths, we do feel better in our bodies. Our insides let go. We're able to, I take 3 conscious breaths before each time I eat, because my digestive system will then remember to digest the food.
Got it.
And so breath has just been a really, really pivotal thing for me in my journey. And it's not something I do consistently all the time. I still shallow breathe, but I can remember to bring that breath more and more into my body, and I feel better.
I love that. Yeah, I'm anxious for you to read this book all the way through, because it talks about the evolution of our bodies and how our jaws have changed, and how when they've adapted to what we eat, but it's kind of screwed up our breathing.
Correct.
And so it's this whole wild situation that like you actively have to consciously breathe right.
And why we have teeth problems, because our jaws have been adapted for mouth breathing versus nose breathing.
Exactly.
It's pretty, it's interesting.
So for breaths, is there, like, I've heard of box breathing. I've heard of like a 4 count where you're kind of holding. Like, what do you think? Is there something specific or just anything in general and focusing on your breath?
In yoga, there's several practices of pranayama, so breath work. Box breathing would be, yes, you breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, you breathe out for 4, you hold for 4 as a box breath, roughly. And that's really beneficial for bringing balance, right? You can do alternate nostril breathing, which I do every day for actual physical balance. It helps balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain.
Meaning like you're covering one
cover
nostril?
One, okay. And you inhale through one and you exhale through the other, and you do that a couple rounds.
Interesting.
The one I really like is a 4 count inhale, a 4 count hold, and 8 count exhale through the mouth. And so that I do daily because it's just really anchoring, just a really subtle, simple way to ground. And the thing that I love about breath work, and when I teach in yoga, I always say, you can do this anywhere and no one's going to know. I can't just throw a yoga mat down when I'm feeling anxious.
On the airplane.
Exactly. And try to, I was just in Chicago airport. They do have a yoga room that I utilize.
Really?
So,
amazing.
Check that out in your big airports.
That's cool.
But, so that's what I love about the breath work, is you can really practice it anywhere and no one's going to know.
That's really cool. I love that. That's super smart. And there's something to that, like not just taking that big inhale, but blowing it out really far and like, and then a little bit farther, right? Like there's something really good for your body around that. I can't really remember what the science of it is, but it's important.
Emptying all the oxygen.
Yeah.
And start before you start anew.
Yeah. Get rid of all the bad stuff.
That's right. It's always, yoga's always a big fat metaphor for life.
I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's kind of transition in and talk more about the body. Massage therapy is a big part of what you do. It's how I met you.
It is. Yeah.
So let's talk about that more and like actual physical things within the body. And I know you're passionate about that. So teach us what you want us to know.
I have a passion to help and heal, obviously the wild heart healing component, but I do have this really innate capacity to just want to allow bodies to function optimally. And yoga taught me so much about that. And so I see pain in bodies as like a learning experience, and what is my body trying to tell me, teach me, etc. And then in my bodywork practice, I bring in different modalities and different healing techniques to help further unravel some of that tension that's in people's, like pain is the final step of the journey. Pain gets our attention, but likely a lot of these troubles, these ailments have been building inside of us for a long time.
Before the pain ever showed up?
Yeah, before the pain ever showed up, exactly.
Okay. So when you are working on somebody, you're physically like moving through knots and things like that, but that's tied to what's going on in your brain as well, right?
It is.
So tell me about that.
There's a lot of nervous system componentry. Yes.
And your nervous system's kind of the boss of everything.
Your nervous system is, very, very important. And so when we talk about this entire episode today, I think we're really diving into how do we calibrate our nervous system in 2026 modern America.
Yeah.
And with all the technology, like what's the balance is stepping back and bringing ourselves back into ourselves. So with massage, I think that just lying on a warm table, right? And just having a room that's not sensory overloaded for folks to come into and just have that hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours to themselves is a huge, even without the physical component of touch, I think just that in and of itself is really, really important. And I intentionally play music that has healing components as well and accesses different places in our nervous system, can be calming.
And there was some water sounds in there, if I remember right. Yeah.
Yes, and depending on the day and what I'm feeling charged to call or to bring in, I have crystals all around the room that, support that healing and take out some of the negative energies that we have in our bodies and cleanse us.
Interesting.
I do a lot of aromatherapy as well. And same thing, to really just go deeper on these subtle energy levels.
I love that. I feel I'm a huge proponent of getting massages, and I was kind of laughing in my brain a little bit around like your body the pain is telling you the story of like the things that you need to stop doing. And I'm like, oh yeah, you mean like sitting at a desk all day when my back is barking at me? Like, yes, correct. I know it's telling me that. But I have also noticed like you get a massage because you want the back to feel better,
Right.
but there's something about that my energy shifts when I do that. It's like a counseling session almost. I would
Yeah.
tell my massage therapist anything.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just dump it. I've cried many times. Like you just move things through your body, right?
You move things through your body. Exactly. And that's a huge part of it. Again, it's all back to that nervous system and nurturing the nervous system. And if the nervous system hasn't had much nurturing in the lifetime, then there's going to be all kinds of stuck stuff. There's going to be all kinds of things that need to come up to be seen. You know, all it is just a need to be seen from within us. And how do we see ourselves fully as whole? And sitting in a desk, it's not that you have to say to yourself, like the anxiety, don't be here, I can't sit at a desk all day. It's just, how can I do this and really inhabit it? Like, or what can I do in addition? How can I counteract? How can I balance the sitting?
Exactly.
So we always have to remember that we're whole, we're not broken, and that we don't want to approach ourselves as something to be fixed.
This is such good advice for me today. I needed that. It's been a rough day, so I'm here for all of this snuggling. Nothing's broken. It's all fine. It's fine.
We're all perfect as we are, and I think that's something that maybe we just set an intention to tell ourselves every day in the mirror. Like, I am whole. I'm enough. We don't need to step into the day and go, okay, here's everything that's wrong with me, because there's nothing wrong.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's really good advice. And I think there's so many of us that are, even if we're not perfectionists, like we want to do the best that we can.
Absolutely.
And when things are not perfect, whether it's in our control or not, like
Absolutely.
it's easy to kind of get dragged down. Or, you know, today I felt very unappreciated by a client that I bent over backwards for, and it just like crushes me. And it's like, why am I letting this diminish my value? I know what I do is worthwhile, just because they are apparently not seeing it. Like, so it's focus on what I can control, and, you know, think about all of the, while I'm in this, then my phone dings and I get a new 5-star review from a client. I just close and I'm like, see, it's
Perfect.
fine. I am worth it.
It's the devil and the angel on the shoulder.
100%. Like, okay. So yeah, I think moving your body sometimes is a great way to help process just emotions in general, and maybe even trauma. And it doesn't necessarily have to be massage. It could be yoga. It could be just, I remember like I started working out at a later age in life. I think I was in my late 20s before I ever really worked out much, other than like my forced PE at school.
Yeah.
But I remember my first couple of sessions with the trainer, and I would cry a lot. And it's not because she was trying to break me.
Right.
It was because there was just things coming up. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm crying. Like, I don't know where this is coming from.
Right. I don't even know what it means.
No idea. But here I am. Let's just go.
I think weightlifting is a great place for that. I just heard someone tell me yesterday that weightlifting is too boring. There's not enough endorphins. And my jaw dropped. I was like, excuse me? Or not enough adrenaline, I'm sorry. And I'm thinking, that's where I get all my aggression out. Like, that's where I release anger and fear. And not every time, but you can. And yoga was that for me. Like, it's just allowing stuff to move through us, right? Instead of letting it stay stuck.
I love that. So let's transition into, you mentioned that you're a naturopath, and I was like, wait, what? I have always used the term naturopath to mean a naturopathic doctor. So I didn't even know that this was a specific term. So tell me what this means.
So there's a major, there's a difference. I am a certified naturopath, meaning I have a certificate, I took some classes, etc. But a doctor of naturopath is an actual medical doctor, right? I am not a medical doctor.
Okay.
But why I got a naturopath certification is so that I could, or because I had this want. I am a firm believer in nothing on my body that I wouldn't put in my mouth and eat, right? So I want really clean ingredients on the largest organ in my body. So that comes true in my massage practice as well. I don't put anything on people that I wouldn't put on myself, etc. So I just really had this calling. I've studied herbalism quite a lot too. And so I just wanted to put all those pieces together and to be able to offer products that can really serve, always comes back to the nervous system, but really serve people's needs. So I've got a couple of creams, I've got a couple of oils that I use regularly, and my herbal medicine, I take herbs internally every day personally. And so, teas, I make a bunch of teas. I will be foraging here in another couple weeks with all of the herbs. I look outside and it's nature's pharmacy.
Interesting.
And so that's a big passion of mine as well. But Goldenrod, for instance, is really a great antidote to seasonal allergies, and everybody thinks that it causes seasonal allergies, but in reality, I drink it as a tea during this time of year to counteract those seasonal allergies, and so far, so good this year.
Interesting. Yeah. So it kind of like teaches your body how to react appropriately to it.
It's like bringing the bee pollen in, like everybody, or you've heard it, eat local honey before allergy season. Yeah, goldenrod just introduces that to your system, and so you can start. Nettles, also a really beautiful product for allergies and just for overall well-being, especially for women in general. That's a whole other topic.
It is a whole other topic, and so is allergies. And like I could do a whole episode on allergies alone. But for my understanding, my daughter had a ton of allergies growing up, and this like histamine response thing is a kind of a fascinating thing, and it's basically your body overreacting to something. Like it gets this foreign thing, and it's like I don't know what to do with this, so I'm just going to freak out.
Absolutely.
And so if you can introduce goldenrod or whatever it is to your system and kind of teach it to react to it appropriately, then you don't have that histamine response that actually creates a symptom, right?
Correct. And getting to the root of allergies is one of my favorite things.
Oh, really?
Really diving into like the why behind why is the freak out happening in the first place?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to talk more about that another time. So I think you also told me there's a topical magnesium that you use. Tell me about that, because magnesium is a big hot button topic for women my age.
My age too. I will try to give a really brief Reader's Digest on what I know of magnesium. So there's several different kinds. I do personally take magnesium internally daily as a way to absorb other minerals, vitamins, etc. Okay. So magnesium helps me absorb vitamin D better during the wintertime. So I do take a little bit of magnesium. Now, mind you, there are several kinds of magnesium.
Yeah. Like lots.
Yeah. And some will loosen things and clear things. And so you just have to be aware of what you're putting in your body. So I'm not saying to go out and grab the first magnesium that you see and start drinking copious amounts of it, because you could have a negative reaction to it. I also put magnesium topically on my body every single day. So every single day I dry brush my body with a pair of gloves and exfoliate and all that. And then the next thing that I do is spray my homemade blend of magnesium on my body. And it's really good for muscle relaxing and joint discomfort and all of that. And what I've noticed over time by doing it topically, one, there's no adverse reactions internally, and also my body feels really good. Like it just feels, I can notice if I go on vacation for a week and I don't have it, or I go camping or something, I'm not going to spray my body with magnesium. That's a little much. Although my self-care kit is a little ridiculous. I do notice that my body feels that. And so the magnesium topically has been a really brilliant piece to my self-care routine.
Okay. So let's talk about dry brushing really quick.
Yeah.
This is a thing that I know has been a hot topic on and off. It's something that I do try to do often. So give us the technique.
Okay.
And because there's a certain way that you have to do the strokes.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us.
Again, Reader's Digest in Ayurveda, which is the sister science to yoga. Dry brushing is called abhyanga, so self-massage. And so you want to do it to enhance lymphatic flow. So it's not about necessarily exfoliating. Yes, that's a bonus. And I did it because my skin's very dry and, from years of swimming. You want to start from the furthest point out and bring it all the way up. So from the hands up, you're always moving towards
your heart.
Yes. And you try to get as much of the body as you can. And I wear these little gloves that are specific Abhyanga massage gloves. It feels really good. It feels really good.
And I just have a brush that somebody had given me at one point that I use. But did you just touch each spot at least once and you're just moving it all towards your heart?
Takes about a minute.
And then you kind of that's taking it through your heart so that it can clear out inflammation and all the other crap that you don't want.
You're working with the lymphatic system. So lymphatic system's a whole ordeal, but lymph does not move itself. We have to move it. So we do that a lot by exercise. And also this is just it's in the morning. It's just a great way to make sure that I'm not stagnant and stuck inside.
And massage can help with that too, yes?
Massage is huge, importantly, every massage that you go to is going to have some component of lymphatic massage to it. There are specific styles and schools for lymphatic drainage, so that you can take it into a whole deeper level. And if you've got edema or swelling or something like that, I would highly encourage a lymphatic massage.
Or maybe even if you had surgery or something.
Correct, absolutely.
A great time to do that afterwards.
And the lymphatic massage daily to yourself is something that you can do just to really enhance those inner fluids. It's a lot. The body's a lot.
It is a lot.
The more I know, the more I don't want to know.
Oh my gosh. That is such a true statement. Because for me, there are times that you're like, okay, well, you got to do this and you got to do this and you can't do this and you can't have any plastics and you can't do this. And then you're like, literally everything's trying to kill me. So why am I trying?
Well, what can I eat? What can I consume? Yeah. And I think that's where the balance comes back in.
Yeah.
You just say, okay, I'm existing in 2026 modern America and I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm just going to be aware, be conscious.
So let's talk about microplastics really briefly. Not saying that's your area of expertise, but like obviously toxins is something that you know a lot about and work a lot to eliminate. So like, what are the worst things for microplastics? Like what should we, if we're going to avoid something, what should it be?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay.
I've tried.
Good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, no, this is not one of my things, but I have tried to give up plastic for a year, and it's near impossible because it's in everything.
It is. It's so, everything.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that drinking out of plastic water bottles isn't a great idea because it gets stored, the plastic leaks out. There's just so much, and that's one that I struggle with, like you were just saying, like, well, how can I exist with all of this? And I just try to do the best that I can.
Well, and the plastic water bottle thing is a big one for me because I just genuinely prefer drinking out of a plastic water bottle. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to get more, I'm going to get more water in if I drink out of this. And especially like if I'm having like a Ultima electrolyte or whatever, I just need that thing to shake it up and I don't want to put it in my water bottle that it's going to take me forever to scrub it. I just want to use it. I'll use the same one for a couple of days and then I'll recycle it. But I'm like, here I am putting electrolytes and making sure I'm drinking water. And then I'm just literally just inhaling toxins.
I don't know.
I don't know the answer to this.
I think we just reward ourselves for the good behavior, right? And just say, okay, there's always going to be the balance. There's always going to be a good and a bad.
I think that's great. So
I think not microwaving plastic is a big,
that
so
makes
when you
sense.
eat food, don't put it in a glass container as opposed to before the microwave.
Yeah, that's
a big one.
Yeah, I've also heard the microwave is bad. So I mean, you can make everything bad.
Exactly.
Everything is trying to kill you.
Go down the rabbit holes. They're exhausting.
That's good. But talk about clean ingredients. So you said you don't like to put anything on your body that you wouldn't consume.
Eat.
Yeah. So are there specific things that you are very careful that you do avoid? Like in ingredients lists on products?
Oh,
and stuff?
there is. I do have an ingredients list for products if you are shopping and buying. I do have it in my office that I don't know it off the top of my head. So
that's okay.
I haven't used, so I swam my whole life. Chlorine has been a big thing. So like lotion, I haven't used a lotion in probably 30 years. Only oil. And I started out with a grapeseed oil because it was really hydrating. I've used olive oil in a pinch and just rubbed it all over my body, to stay, to keep, especially in winter here in Montana, we get dry. And so now I have a concoction and a blend that I use and it changes. Seasonally it changes.
Interesting.
And I know which oils are great for springtime, which are good for summertime, et cetera, et cetera.
What about coconut oil?
Coconut oil I love.
Okay.
And it's anti-inflammatory. It's a lot.
It's all the good things.
Put it in you and on you.
Well, I love this. And I have a feeling there's going to be more people that maybe want to connect with you either for that ingredients list or maybe because they want some body work or whatever else. What's the best way for people to connect with you?
My website probably. So wildhearthealing.abmp.com.
abmp.com. Okay.
I'm on social media. So Wild Heart Healing on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Okay. Awesome.
But the website has contact information
and you can schedule a massage right on there.
You can schedule a massage right on there, yeah. Or a yoga session.
Yeah. And I actually find that you're a little bit easier to get into than some of the other people. And I really like that because there are days that I'm like, I just really need
this now.
It's today. I need to go today. And then I'll look and I'll be like, oh my God, she has an opening today.
That happens to me more often than not. I'm like, I need this now and I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm like going through my Rolodex of massage therapists and I'm like, who do I call?
I just assume that it's like the universe putting me in your path and being like, oh, okay. You're just like, you wake up today and you're like, Renee's going to need to see me. I'm just going to open up this time. I don't know.
Funny you say that because I had just been thinking about two of my clients last week. I was just thinking about them and I'm like, boy, I haven't seen them in a while, blah, blah, blah. And they booked yesterday for this week. And this happens so often. It's like this thing.
It's what you put out there.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jamie. I really appreciate this conversation. This was super fun. You have a ton of knowledge to share and it was great to catch up. So
thank you.
Here's to empowering each other one story at a time.